Cool. Let's see, I'll have to pull it up. So yeah, feel free, Sam, if you want to facilitate. Go from there.
Yeah, I can try it. So just a reminder, please sign in to the office hours talk if you haven't already. We have a couple of items on the agenda. Okay, let's get right into it. First up, we have Ujjwal, who has.
Mike, you can go first. I have a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I just had one quick question about, in reading through some, I'm just starting up, really diving in this week, reading through some of the docs. There was this distinction between a meta build pack and a build pack group. And was just trying to better understand that. It sounds like they both are used for composing multiple build packs together in different ways and ordering them and kind of treating them as a collection of build packs as kind of a single unit that can be, for the detect lifecycle phase and things like that. Just trying to understand if what is the difference between the two concepts, or like when would you use one and not the other, or might there be an opportunity to collapse those into one single concept? So just trying to understand that better if you have insight.
Do you want to answer that, or should I?
I mean, I don't know. You go first. Create your facility.
So meta build packs are more around the distribution of a group of build packs rather than the actual group concept that you have here. So a meta build pack is when you have a build pack that just defines the grouping logic and includes a bunch of other build packs. A meta build pack itself could include other meta build packs because it's just pointing to them. A build pack group is just the final resolved individual build packs that are run together and must satisfy all the provisions and requirements through one detect pass. So when you have a bunch of groups of build packs, the lifecycle detect phase goes through each group and tries to find the first group where all the required build packs pass and all the provisions and requirements match up. So that's what a group of build packs is, and the meta build pack is just a way of packaging things together. And then the entity of this, the whole packaged entity of these group of build packs is called a meta build pack. But I don't think that's canonically written anywhere down in the spec. It's just referred to as a meta build pack in the documentation and in RFCs. I don't think it's anywhere in the spec.
Yeah, not the terminology, but definitely the spec does define that you could have an order or you could have the binaries, I think, right? I don't remember, but basically it's exclusive, one or the other. So you can't have a build pack that also has an order defined, which is something that I think I kind of maybe argued for initially. But yeah, I mean, I think the way that I would define it is maybe slightly different. Not saying that Sam is wrong. I think that's very much accurate, but it's ultimately the same concept, right? The ordering concept. And it's just the idea of it's defined at the stack level. But then in order for you to also be able to kind of make it portable, that same concept, it's like reusing the same concept in order to create these sort of build packs that then could be injected and distributed elsewhere or separately, right? So if you're thinking about it like a Java build pack, right? Or Java meta build pack, you would essentially kind of want to say like, hey, I want to include all these other build packs as part of this order, and this is how they would work or operate. And that's more or less what it's like reusing it for the sake of the feature that we already have. But I understand where it kind of creates this confusion of where to use what.
So which, sorry, we can go back to like the Java build pack example. That was so like the whole thing packaged up would be a meta build pack. And that, or would that be, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you're right. I think a really good example to look at right now would be maybe something like the Pacato build packs. They have a build pack list builder, right? Which basically has no build packs, it's just the base image. And then you're able to specify like language specific meta build packs that then provide, technically it's called a build package. Please don't like harp us on the naming, but it's a build package that you're pointing to that essentially is a meta build pack that points to this is the order of the build packs, how they're going to be tried. So the builder itself actually doesn't even have an order, is my understanding. It's been delegated to the meta build pack as the entry point.
And could that be delegated to a build pack group, or like what would you hit that would make that infeasible, or where would that break down? You say that like, so you have this builder and you specify a meta build pack for it to point to. Is there a reason that couldn't point to a build pack group instead, or?
I think that's essentially what it is, right?
Okay.
The build pack is that how you distribute in a order group or build pack group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a distribution of the same concept, basically.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Thank you. That helps.
Yeah, if you have feedback on how to maybe improve, you know, getting that point across, I think that'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll try and wrestle with it a little more, maybe propose something.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that's it on Ujjwal. You can talk us through your agenda items. So first,
Yeah, sure. Let's see what I've written. Okay. Yeah, so Hacktoberfest is coming up, and I wanted to know what was your experience last year? Like, did you get more contributors than usual? And I know that a lot of projects got spammy pull requests during that time. So basically, what was your experience, and is there anything we can do to prepare for Hacktoberfest in advance? And during Hacktoberfest, would you like some more contributions in other non-code ways?
Personally, I'm trying to remember whether or not we partook in Hacktoberfest last year. It's been so long. I do remember there was another one where what was that tool that got bought out?
that the CNCF bot that figured out security issues.
Yeah. Do you remember?
Uh,
There was an event. It was like a similar thing, hackathon.
Yeah, I think, what was it called? It was during the last KubeCon or something, right?
Oh, yeah, I think it was a KubeCon thing, not
Yeah.
the hackathon or Hacktoberfest.
It was like this tool we could, like it was a GitHub app we could install on our repositories, and it would, I think, find out security issues, and people were supposed to submit in fixes for those, if I remember. But yeah, I think that was it. In terms of Hacktoberfest, I know we can explicitly opt in, but what happened last time was like, even if you didn't opt in, there was like Hacktoberfest used to have this criteria. If your repository satisfies certain things, like if it's an organization and not a private repository or something, your pull request would still count as like for the whatever price they have. So I know last year lots of repositories got spammy pull requests where people were just like changing the README a bit, like adding apostrophe or whatever. And I don't know how our experience was.
Yeah,
But
I
the
looked
one was called Muse now, I remember. Muse Dev or something.
through the pack issues and pull requests, and there wasn't anything labeled Hacktoberfest. So it's like Sam mentioned, it must have been the criteria matching. Didn't explicitly participate. So would you be like to just have a follow-up question? Because I know that the way a lot of contributors do look for projects.
I'm gonna like speak my personal opinion, right? But the previous little hackathon we had didn't yield too many really good PRs. I think I would say maybe 25% of them were actually good, and then the other one, like the other percentage, were not, not as bad as like README files and stuff like that, but they were tangential, and just some of them we had to reject. And it was more of a burden for us to configure Muse Dev and like, again, kind of like take some time to learn how that even worked and stuff like that. So for that reason, like that wasn't very useful for me personally, or I didn't see a lot of value in it. I have no opinion of Hacktoberfest, but that's kind of like the thing that sticks to the back of my mind. Is it going to be worth the effort that we put into it, kind of thing?
I think from my past experience with other repositories, like at least MuseDev had like some criteria or actual things that people had to fix. Hacktoberfest used to be like a grab box where like people would just submit pull requests for the sake of it, with like minor fixes, and it didn't result in any long-term engagement with the actual contributors. They would just make the fix, grab their prize, and then never touch or contact the community ever again. I think the Hacktoberfest, like the organization, they've tried to improve or like prevent such things. They have like a much more filtered criteria for how to include your repositories or organization into Hacktoberfest. We can consider if we want to do this, but at this point, I don't think we can definitely say yes or no. We'll just ask how the other maintainers feel about the burden of like extra pull requests, which may be spammy, but may also lead to some good contributions. So we'll just try to figure out the pros and cons and see if we want to enable ourselves for this.
That's understandable. Okay, next is we mentioned triaging issues as one of the possible contributions on our website as one of the possible ways to contribute. But triaging issues mainly involves access to labeling issues as well, changing and adding labels. And currently that's only possible if you're a member of that team. Like I recently became a platform member, so I can access the labels and pack and stuff, but I can't do it on the docs website or anything. So do you want to change the access that way we access the labels, or do you want to remove the triage in some possible contributions? Because I know that can be burdensome if something incorrect happens or stuff like that.
So I think the way our permissions are currently set up and the way teams are, if you're a contributor, you also get approval access, like you can approve pull requests. There is a separate GitHub level, which instead of write only gives you triage permissions. So maybe we can bring it up that like we can create a separate team which just has like people who want to triage issues and limit their scope down to just like changing labels, because that would lower the barrier you need to be a part of that team, and also allow for triaging contributions while still preventing other things like code reviews and stuff.
I don't think the members get PR access like you mentioned. Only maintainers can do that as well. But yeah, the other thing you mentioned about the triage access and reducing value, that might work if the maintainers are interested.
I had a maybe slightly different proposal is because honestly, I think I kind of forgot that there was a triage permission. But then to some extent, there's two challenges I see with that. Is one, they have maybe a little bit more access than what we would want them to have, which is literally add, status labels and whatnot. And then the other one is that they still have to kind of ask for permission to do that to some degree. So I know one of the things that some of the CNCF projects do is they have prowl and they have a lot of slash commands. So I do wonder, I don't know that I want to go with prowl because I've heard that that's a pretty big, beast to maintain. But I do wonder if we could create a bot essentially that just allows for triage commands, which would literally just update labels. And anybody would be able to do that, would be my kind of proposal.
I think in the last Buildpack authors meeting, we discussed this, and there was some other tool that Frankie suggested, which was a bit more lightweight than crawl. Let me see if I can find the name for that. Where is it? Yeah, this one. Triage party. I don't know if this does, like, I haven't looked into it. It looks like it makes triaging a game and also supports adding it to some degree. We may want to look at it. It was suggested in the last back team meeting as a possible way for us to triage issues.
I'm intrigued, although it seems like it has like a UI that might be a little bit of a deterrent, but interesting.
I think it was because of the game, like they gamify it or something where I don't know if you compete against other players. I don't know what it is, but it's like a gamified version of triaging.
So it's like Hacktoberfest but for triage.
Maybe, I don't know.
Start moving the shit back and forth.
I have not looked into it. It was just like something that was mentioned we may want to look into.
Yeah, and maybe we could give away swag or something. All right, cool. So I guess it seems like we have a couple options on the table. Let me go ahead and record those. Okay, you already put that. And then I think the only other one would be give permissions. Cool. Is there anything actionable here? I know we have some options, but does anybody feel passionate enough to like look into these and propose something more concretely?
I would like to look into the bot for slash commands, and if it's not too much work, I'd be happy to give it a go.
Cool.
And the next is, I was looking through the Buildpacks documentation and trying to understand more. So first I looked at the tools and I understood most of what's going on. So Circle CI is using Tap Orb as a and is a CI/CD system that that uses Buildpacks as well. GitHub, GitLab, and Tekton also use Buildpacks in their systems, but uh, we, do we explicitly have any repository for them? I think we have one for Tekton. I'm not sure about that.
Sorry, could you maybe elaborate on the question? I get what you're saying about there being different tools, but what do you mean by repos for the
Are
tools?
we so Pack is one platform that we have, and what are we specifically supporting, and what tools are just about using something that we have provided but not directly intended for their use, if that makes more sense.
So a couple things come to mind if I'm understanding the question correctly. We have, let's see. So we have this tools area on our website, and then we have the community. I thought we were moving the community adopters somewhere else. But we have this as well. So now, so if we have these, is there something that what you were thinking about, or are you thinking about something different?
Yeah, I'm on the docs tools page, and I'll just try seeing it again. Like I know Circle CI we support through the Pack Org repository that we have, and GitHub Auto DevOps is using the Pack. Tekton also has a repository separately that we're supporting, I think. I didn't understand what KPack does as a
Okay.
platform, not the role of the pack of Buildpacks, but what is KPack?
I mean, I think Sam has a better understanding there.
So KPack is it sort of applies like Kate's native like philosophies to the Buildpacks ecosystem. You have a declarative way of defining all the resources and also pushing changes from one source. So right now, let's say we create a new builder or we update a build pack. We rely on our users to pull these changes into their application image and sort of get the latest fixes or patches. With KPack, if they register, so you can register a repository onto KPack, and it continuously monitors various inputs. So it required to create the image out of that repository. So that includes the repository itself, the builders it's using, the build packs it's using. So let's say you as the app developer pointed that resource to a particular branch on your Git repository and you updated that branch and pushed a new commit, it will automatically build the image for you. Let's say as the platform controller, you operator, you updated your builder's stack image, it will automatically run the rebase throughout the cluster. You updated a build pack, it would rebuild all of the applications that are using that build pack. So it's sort of a way to manage images at scale and reduce the amount of effort to like do the operations that Buildpacks enables you to do. So things like rebase and rebuilds based on Buildpacks. So that's the main, like,
Yeah, that's helpful.
Yeah.
That helps. And next thing I want to get into is the teams and what they oversee. So I looked through the teams document on GitHub, and I understood most the life cycle team looks after the life cycle, and learning team is for dogs. But what are the platforms that the platform team looks on, except CLM?
I see. We should have a page for that as well. So it's not teams, is it governance? Might need a little updating, which is kind of the problem with documentation, but that document there, governance, yeah, should talk about like on the platform, right? We have Pack, Tecton, and Circle CI. As far as I'm aware, those would be it. I'm trying to think if there's another one that we're missing. So KPack is a VMware open source project at this point in time. So it's actually outside of the CNB project, right?
That this document is what I was looking for. Yes, I was stuck on Teams. I look more into it.
Yeah, I definitely think it would be better if we had better documentation or this better defined. But I think a lot of it, honestly, kind of relies on maybe like UI design, which isn't the primary focus of most of the members in this team, right?
Yeah, quite a lot. Okay, so lastly, I wanted to confirm my basic understanding and see if I could explain how Buildpacks works. So, let me open up the documentation.
All right, yeah, I think we'd be ready for you to try to give us a pitch. All right, tell us how Buildpacks work. The only thing I would ask is maybe put your mic a little bit closer. Yeah.
Is this better?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we have a builder image that comprises of a build image that provides the environment for which certain process will take place. We have a life cycle that will that is responsible for running the processes, and we have build packs. And build packs are basically a set of processes that wait, I should go through life cycle first, I guess. That's where I rehearsed this a bit. I'm forgetting now. Okay, so I'll just start with Buildpacks. So Buildpacks looks at our source code and first of all sees which language sort of sees which language it's from. So for example, for npm Buildpack, it will look for a package.json file, and certain for different languages, it will look at those and detect which builder it should use. Then it has a build phase that um, helps in, how do I say it? So it aids in the process of building the app image that will be used finally by preparing the environment a bit, by installing dependencies or whatever they might be. Build packs are a component of a build image, and in including build packs, there is also a life cycle. The life cycle has different stages, including detect and build. So it also analyzes stage, which, for example, if I input a certain name, hello world, it will see if I already have an image by that name. And so if there is, it will use that image and give me the layers for that. So I can rebuild on top of that. It has a restore stage as well, and then build and other stages. and the life cycle is basically running the whole process of building the source code from to the final OCI image that I can run. And the life cycle is a component of the builder image, and the builder image has itself a build image that is part of the stack, and the build image provides the environment in which the life cycle runs.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, to that level, yes, I think that pretty much defines what Buildpacks are. There's a lot of weeds we could go into, right? But at a high level, yeah, that definitely makes sense. So are you saying you're ready to do a couple presentations at like KubeCon and all that?
I'd love to.
We'll stay in touch. I'm gonna reach out to you. We do have some opportunities, so that'd be cool. All right, Sam, what's up? Is there anything else?
I think that was it.
I'm trying to think if there's anything, but I mean, the only thing is KubeCon, but that's like till next month, right? Early next month. I'm not sure that there's been a lot of communication outward from that. So maybe that's something that we should take note of and communicate a little bit more.
I think we have a KubeCon NA channel. So if you're interested in helping us out, join there and we'll try to post some updates.
I'm not attending it, by the way, just so you know. I got in the European through a student pass. I graduated last year in October, around August, September. I couldn't apply for that this time, so I'm not attending. Not really.
Cool. Anything else we want to chat about? Awesome. Well, I'll give you all your time back. Seems like Sam already left us. So, all right. Appreciate it, everybody.
I just was getting something, but yeah. See ya.
No, you're fine. All right. See you soon.